Good morning to all of you. Welcome back to the Namaste Experience. It is Thursday. Anybody know what that means? Neil Rogan Day. Yes. We all love when our brother Neil shows up and gives us some delightened energy. So I'm going to pass things over to him in just a moment. Another thing that I'm very excited about is my friend Phil Gruber arrived last night. I'm going to ask Phil to share a little bit tomorrow. And he's going to be doing a little workshop before he leaves as well. So we need to figure out, hey there, welcome back. How'd your singing go last night? I heard about that. Keely's been singing in town. I can't wait to hear. So let's just take a deep breath together and come to this moment, this sacred, holy moment. The sacred moment of yes, where everything reverberates with yes. I saw the lesson of the day from A Course in Miracles. No one can fail who seeks to reach the truth. You cannot fail when you seek to reach the truth. That can only be true one way. Anybody able to guess how that could be true? Because it's already happened. Exactly. There can't be a 100% success rate at anything unless it's already happened. Otherwise, there will always be that little tiny chance that you won't reach the truth. But if you never left the truth, then you cannot fail. And we talk about certainty a lot. That's the certainty that we are achieving, reaching in ourselves. The certainty of knowing that it's impossible to reach the truth because what is true is forever true. And there's nothing we can do to change that. And we've tried. Boy, have we tried. And it's the greatest failure in the history of your mind. That you failed. This is the only time where failure is not only guaranteed, but preferred. You failed to not reach the truth. You're there. And all we do here every day is we just receive that. We amplify that. We share that. We lift in that experience. And being able to do that together is such a gift. So we are grateful. We're so grateful for all of you. We're so grateful for everyone. That being said, I'm going to invite our dear brother up, we're going to be grateful for as well, because he always has such wonderful things to share. So let me put yes. That might be a little too high.
I could never be too high.
Try it that way.
Okay. I'm the Pea Prince. Yeah, I can still feel the pea. Okay. All right. Hi. What a treat. Wow. I know it's Thursday. Every week I know it's Thursday because Wednesday night I start worrying about Thursday. And then I have to calm him down. It's not his job to do this. And so I woke up this morning and the birds were singing. It was so beautiful right outside my window, this lovely song. And I realized the whole world is celebrating. Nature is celebrating this, except for us. I don't know. We have...
we can't hear very well, but we can hear very well here.
Hello? Is that better? I suppose I should talk into this thing. So the nature, the trees are giving off oxygen for us. The birds are singing, the bugs are doing what bugs do. And why are we the only sour note in this beautiful symphony?
Amen.
Because I think we created these characters to represent ourselves to the world, kind of like avatars. You want to talk?
No.
Speak.
Speakers.
That's going. Okay. Anyway, so we've invented these characters that we're playing in this play, and we each have a story, and we each have a kind of a what they call a MacGuffin. In the movie business, a MacGuffin in the script is whatever drives the action. You know, it's the ticking bomb or the girl on the tracks or something that moves things forward. And we each have one of those of our own that keeps us moving forward and keeps us in this, this identity. And I was thinking about that, you know, when we were expelled from the Garden of Eden and learned about shame and how we could feel bad and do bad things and right and wrong and all that stuff. And I realized, what if that's all been a dream? We never left. We just went to sleep and started dreaming about separation, and we've made it so real. It feels so real. If you just look around, I'm over here, you're over there. It's obviously we're separate. Yeah. Just like if you look at the horizon, it's obviously flat. But what's obviously true is not necessarily ultimately true. You know, this game we're playing, which we've already won. And once you already won a game, it's much more fun to play. I watched my beloved Golden State Warriors basketball team last night.
Did they lose?
No, they won.
Oh, right. 3-2.
3-2 now. And it's like, why I get so caught up in them? It's my team. I was thinking, why is it that people paint themselves the colors of their team and do these stupid things and go crazy? We won. Oh my God, this is ecstasy. We lost. Oh my God, it's horrible. And I think, well, back in the old days when we had contests, our city-state against their city-state, and if we had a war, their army or their champion would fight our champion or our army. And if we won, we got to keep their women. And if we lost, they got to keep our women. And maybe kill us.
That's a motivating factor.
So I would paint myself the color of my team and start rooting for my team if it was really do or die. And it used to be. So I think that's why we are so enamored with our champions. But we have these characters that we are. You know, we have a backstory, we have a motivation, and we're doing this incredible improv with each other. And we're one of the rare people who recognize that we never left the garden. We're always in the palm of God's hand, sleeping and dreaming that we left the garden. We're dreaming this. And lately, as I get to the beyond the fourth quarter of my life, I've had, you know, like I think I said this, 24, 20-year quarters. I think I like the middle two quarters the best. But in any case, when I got to my 80th birthday, I realized I'm in the fourth quarter. I'm still going. So now I'm in sudden death overtime. I had a doctor, my doctor said, it's easy to get into your 80s nowadays, but it's still hard to get out. Thanks.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about how we go through our life, how we navigate this game that we've already won. I notice it's either from now back or from now on. Now, most of the time through my life, I've been living from now back, because I've been standing at the back of my boat, looking at the wake, going, oh, let's not do that again. Oh, avoid that. Oh, that was a mistake. I shouldn't do that. So my whole focus was navigating the future based on avoiding the past and fixing mistakes and repairing, and getting better and having hope. But meanwhile, I'm backing into life. And I end up that way with an itinerary of places I'm not going to go. And I end up with what's left. So I haven't made any choices. I've just avoided things. And then I realized, well, what if I turned around? And I look down and I go, instead of now back, I have from now on. And when you think about it, that's really all we have. We have from now on. Now, whether from now on is determined by what happened before and our avoidance of those mistakes, or it's a wide open field. There's nothing stopping us from moving forward in any way we want. We can choose the life we want. And I know we're choosing love. And there was a time when I was young, and I lived in Mill Valley, California, Northern California, beautiful, beautiful town. And there was this mountain, magic mountain called Mount Tamalpais. And I was a long-haired hippie. I'll show you a picture of something if you want. But and there was a time when it was really innocent and love was flowing, at least in this community I was in, this hippie community. It was a time of like visiting itinerant spiritual teachers who kind of come through, a lot of them wearing white, doing incredible mystical things. And I remember, and this seems so kind of weird if I look at our world today, but we would look at each other in this group of hippies, and I would look in the eyes of another man and say, without any kind of fearing or holding back, say, you are so beautiful. And they would get it and say, you are so beautiful. And we did that without any kind of creepiness. We loved each other aloud. And a young woman came through visiting, being. She was probably 18 years old and just like angelic, really blonde, and just she glowed. And she took us up on Mount Tamalpais, and we did ceremonies. And she said to me something that I'll never forget. And it's kind of one of those things that I use as a measurement, because it says, in a way, it says everything. And she said, those who know not and know not that they know not are fools, and you should shun them. And those who know not, but know that they know not, are children, and you should teach them. She says, and those who know, but know not that they know, are asleep, and you should wake them. And those who know, and know that they know, are wise, and you can follow them. And that was something that I carried with me. I still do. There's no hierarchy of being. Each one of us is a soul of God, a glorious, perfected, shining, exquisite soul of God that we have the privilege of sitting in front of and talking to, knowing. Most of the time we don't notice that they're souls of God, we're just them. But if you really sit and wait and look deeply into someone's eyes, you fall in love, you want to move in with them. And so there's no hierarchy, but there is this kind of distinct distinctions of awareness, of whether you're awake or not, whether you're asleep and asleep that you're asleep, or you're aware that you're asleep and you're trying to wake up and you're on the spiritual path. But we're all somewhere along that spectrum. And we're so blessed to be with teachers who see us as who we are. I worked for a man who I think it still is an amazing human being. His name was Werner Aaron. Werner Aaron started something called EST. The way I said EST, you know, the Salvation Army, right? And I thought Scientology is a Salvation Navy. And EST was kind of the Salvation Marines. Because they hit the beachhead in this culture, and they were the first ones to start yelling and screaming and swearing and waking people up to the fact that they were pretending that life was good and it wasn't. And one day we had this special day when we could go in and sit with Werner, just one-on-one, and tell him the things that we really didn't want to tell him, or that we felt we were withholding, or anything we want to tell him, we could tell him. And for me, having had these spiritual experiences that I couldn't explain, it seemed really strange and beautiful, but I felt like I was hiding them. And I said, what do you want to tell me? I said, Werner, I just want you to know that I've had several spiritual experiences. And he went, okay, is that it? Yeah. He said, well, I need to tell you, I don't think it's unusual for God to have spiritual experience. So when you're with someone who knows who you are, you kind of grow spontaneously. When someone witnesses you and doesn't see the facade, you know, wisdom can see through the facade to the face of God behind it. And when someone can see through your facade and sees who you are, it's an experience you don't forget and you want more of. So that's why we're coming back here. Because we're being seen and known as we're already having never left the garden. I wrote that little poem about how you can't blow out the picture of a candle or dive into a painting of a lake, and you can't become a better version of who you've never been anyway, or ever not be who you actually are. And you can relax. One time I was dancing like a Caucasian. And I couldn't get it. I couldn't let go. And I heard this of my favorite voice, the one inside me. And it said, don't, so relax. You're not the person you're pretending not to be. Oh, so this whole project of becoming better, it's like, I'm not that guy. I've been working on him my whole life. But he's a him, he's not a me. And he's kind of like my pet. My ego self is like my pet, and I'm trying to get him to be obedience trained and not try and take over my life and run everything. Because he really doesn't know, and he's afraid. He's afraid he's an imposter, because he is. He knows that his existence is based on this feeling of lack, that there's some diminishment, something missing at the core of him. I call him Migo. So Migo is what I wake up into every morning, and I have to talk myself out of and remember because everybody else on earth is relating to me as if I am him. And it's a rare thing to find an environment where you can have that experience and know that there's way more to you than meets the eye. If you think that you are your body and your thoughts and your attitude and your life story, then you've cast yourself in a whodunit in which you've done it and don't know it. And he's around here somewhere. You can feel it. Whose fault is this? Not my fault. It's somewhere. So we get caught up in this need to get my puppet validated, get him fixed. He's looking to repair himself. And the Taoist master Lao Tzu, I don't know if you've heard, he's an incredible Chinese philosopher. And he said, wisdom, this is an interesting thing. He said, wisdom is to be the willing plaything of chance circumstance. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means don't resist anything. Don't try and fix anything that happens. Don't make anything wrong. Let it take you. Because in that surrender, you do nothing. And in that nothing is where wisdom shows up. Wisdom doesn't happen to my ego. He'll remember things that wisdom tells him. And then he'll co-opt it and become spiritualized and really smart and better than the other egos and more holy and better along and further along the path, getting somewhere. I'm improving, but always fixing, always fiddling, always fine-tuning, always never right. And that constant fixing is what keeps it from ever being seen as what it really is. This is a mechanism that I put together, we put together in order to survive our parents, in order to be able to get along with everybody else, because everybody else is doing the same thing. So there's nothing wrong with having an ego. It's the way it is. But it's a stage that most of us get so enamored with that we stay there. And we don't look for, what else is there? Is there something more? And we can feel the seeking. My ego is always seeking, and seeking is good. In America, you're promised guaranteed the right to pursue happiness, not to get any. But I look at that pursuit of happiness in another way. Like, happiness is my pursuit. It's my life work. It's what I'm about. Happiness. But I'm not chasing after it. And as soon as I stop chasing after it, yes, it finds me. So it's just a real joy to have this space, because I had no idea what I was going to talk about. I was really looking forward to hearing me. And I know it's not me so much as you, the quality of your listening and who I'm speaking to, and that welcoming desire for wisdom and this recognition that It's always already all right. It's always already all right.
Absolutely.
I think I'm done.
Yes, well, you were done a long time ago, that's for sure. Wow, thank you. Thank you, Neil, as always. That note that you hit at the very end about happiness was really, really beautiful. The pursuit of happiness, but not the finding. You can't find something that was never lost. Exactly. That's why in A Course in Miracles, the lesson, God's will for me is perfect happiness, not occasional happiness, not happiness when things go my way or things are working out the way I think they should. That's imperfect happiness. Perfect happiness is happiness. Anybody want to fill in the last three words? No matter what. No matter what. I'm filled with that joy, with that energy. It is not dependent upon what's happening out here to any degree. It's dependent upon that which is happening within me. God's will for me is perfect happiness. I actually just pulled up that lesson. Lesson 101. It says, God's will for me is perfect happiness because there is no sin and suffering is causeless. There is no cause, true cause to suffering. Joy is just, and pain is but the sign that you have misunderstood yourself. Fear not the will of God, but turn to it in confidence that it will set you free from all the consequences sin has wrought in feverish imagination. I like that, feverish imagination. It's like when you do have a fever and you're caught in a dream and it's not a good dream and you can't get out. When I was back in Portland, there were, I think, 3 nights when Penny had a bad fever at night and she was tossing and turning. We woke her up and gave her some medicine to help bring her fever down. And that's the medicine that's always being given to us. Medicine like this, joining together. This is our medicine. And it's really meant to do one thing, to bring our fever down. Our feverish imagination. And then it says to say this. We'll say it together. Ready? God's will for me is perfect happiness. God's will for me is perfect happiness. There is no sin. It has no consequence. There you go. Just remember that. There is no sin. There might be missing the mark once in a while, which is just forgetting that there is no sin. It's just forgetting that I am whole and perfect this and every moment. So we come together to remember that. That's the gift of our joining. We come together to remember that there is no sin. Only joy is real. So Neil, thank you so much. Vicky has laryngitis this morning, so we're going to let her rest her voice. I'm sure she's right here, where she always is. So let's just take a deep breath together. Breathe in this holy, sacred moment where the fever is beginning to fall. Our temperature is beginning to drop to a normal, healthy state of pure awareness that I am whole, I am complete, and I am home. Say those words with me. I am whole, I am complete. I am whole, I am complete, I am home. Ready? I am whole, I am complete, I am home. Doesn't that feel good? So let's just live there today. And the best way to live there is to keep giving it away, keep seeing it in others. So once again, Neil, we love Thursdays. We love when you come. We love when you come, all of you and all of you. So once again, tomorrow we're going to have Phil Gruber. He's going to blow your mind. He's going to, I have no idea what he's going to talk about, but whatever it is, he'll blow your mind. So have a beautiful day, everyone. And we say together, Amen, 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 y punto. Have a great day. Namaste.
Namaste, everybody.
And
I love you.
namasko.
Namaste.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Bye now.